smoker, we're here to save the day. We got tips and tricks, reviews and more. Join us on the back porch, that's what we're here for. We're not professionals, but we're here to help. Take a step into the lounge, don't be by yourself. Light up a stick, let the stories unfold. In the Back Porch Lounge, where the vibe is bold. Shy about the shop, no need to fear. We'll teach you the ropes and make it all clear. Learn the lingo, find your cigar groove. With the Leaf Cutters crew, you got nothing to prove. We're not professionals, but we're here to help. Take a step into the lounge, don't be by yourself. Light up a stick, let the stories unfold. In the Back Porch Lounge, where the vibe is bold. So grab your cigar, join the conversation. Let's light it up, spark some inspiration. The Leaf Cutters are here, the world to ignite. One stick at a time, under the porch light.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Back Porch Lounge. We are the Leaf Cutters, and we are not professionals, but we are here to help. And today is a very special day. We have two guests in the Back Porch Lounge with us, both from Espinosa, and we have a returning guest, Hector Alfonso, and we also have Jack Toraño. Both awesome guys. Hector's been on the show before, so he kind of knows what goes down. Jack, we actually met at PCA. Great guy. We were so honored that he actually decided to come on. I think it was, some kind of blackmailing from Hector. But,
You're honored? I never heard that shit about me. You're honored that Jack's on the show? What, is Jack Cigar royalty or something?
On the first time.
This was,
Hector, wish you were honored.
But just like, you're not there.
this was a huge mistake. I'm sorry. I didn't know what I was agreeing to at that trade show, but I guess this is it.
So, for the show, you were generous enough to send us some cigars to smoke. So we are
another mistake
because going that 32 miles to get to Espinosa is just way outside of our.
It's too far for some guys. Am I right, Grim?
It's too far.
Right? It's just too far, buddy.
Yes, something. No, yeah, 31's it.
Huh?
So,
There you go.
I didn't hear any of that. I didn't understand it. What are you guys all smoking?
Cigars today.
Okay.
So today I'm starting with the Arturo Fuente Claro. It's a good cigar, and we appreciate you sending that to us. How about you, Andy?
I've got the 2023, the Toast Across America, the Shark, man.
Wow. It is. Did you guys, how long did it take you to work on this bullshit?
All week, obviously. It took them all week.
Wow.
How about you, Billy? Billy, what are you smoking, buddy?
I got a Fuente Hemingway.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Nice. How about you, Grim? What about you, man?
I don't have
Warm?
for this. Yeah, no.
Good man.
How about you, Robert?
Right.
I'm glad your mic's off. Well, it's a good thing you guys rehearsed this really well.
Right.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
So you guys have chosen violence, I see. Okay. All right.
And how about you, Zach? What about you, buddy?
Getting it wrong.
I've got the.
This is why they record Sundays at 3 o'clock.
Okay, so he's got a. All right, cool. Well, thanks a lot for having us on. We appreciate you. Scratch them from the.
We are doing. We're doing the awesome fucking Knuckle Sandwich.
There you go. Good man. Good man.
Yeah.
Listen, it's not like we couldn't do a Fuente show for you. It's so good that you're smoking the Fuente. We could do a Fuente show for you, but
I gotta go dye my hair.
We definitely gotta do that.
I have to go grow some hair, but I can. We can do the Fuente stuff for you. It's so good. The wrapper is so good.
You wore the hat.
Yeah, I was really excited about this when I saw this one because I haven't had this one, so I was really happy to see it.
It's only 31 miles away.
Well, it's that 31 miles.
Every time.
I know I mailed all this shit out, but it was a few weeks ago. Who's together? I know I sent 3 to one person. I sent 3 to who? Gibbs?
It's me, Grim, Billy, and Robert all in the same place.
All in the same place? And then where Andy, where are you at?
I'm in Louisiana, where it's
Louisiana.
just as hot and sweaty as you are.
Yeah, it's probably more. It's probably hotter. It's hotter here.
The Keys were the worst. I was fucking dying that weekend.
It's hard, bro. I mean,
toasty down there.
Yeah. And then who's missing? Who's somewhere else?
I'm in Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. What part of Tennessee?
Yep. It's just a little north of Knoxville.
Does it have a name or?
Like green.
Yeah, it's just a little north of Knoxville.
High
Pretty
School,
Townville.
Tennessee. 20 minutes north of
Send anything
Knoxville.
to just a little north of Tennessee.
That's how you address the package, Zach. A little north of Tennessee and a little north of Knoxville. Hey, I love
Just
that part
a
of the
little
country.
south of Coral Gables.
We'll be neighbors in a few short years, Zach.
It'll be fine with me.
That's-
You just let me know. We'll go have a cigar.
So, of course,
We'll
I'll
definitely
be
come visit.
sure. I got to buy some Fuentes somewhere we can have. All right. So,
Exactly. So as we light up, Robert, you have a question?
I do.
Okay, so Thomas Edison is credited with saying, I didn't fail in making a light bulb. I just discovered 2,000 ways not to make a light bulb. In that spirit, Hector, have you ever started on a cigar, got to a point and went, no, that's not going to work?
about 2,000 ways, about 2,000 times. Yeah. A bunch of times. Listen, there are, and Jack can attest to this, in my office, I have more samples I have samples of stuff that just didn't pan out. I mean, the intent was there, the tobacco was the same, but
The word Hector's looking for is pure shit.
pure shit. There was some, I made some that were just absolutely dog rockets. And the funny thing is, when people come to see us, they love when you give them something that was never released. And they always say, how come you didn't make this? I go, well, because 4 years ago, it tasted like ass, and not the good kind. I mean, it tasted bad. I mean, so, it just sometimes for every hit, Robert, for every hit, and now less than before, but at the beginning, for every hit, there was 5 or 6 that just didn't pan out. Now we're a little bit. We're a little better now. We're more of a dead shot now. We know what we're looking at. I mean, we still will make a cigar, and it might not be the right one, but it's not like it was before. But there are plenty of dead soldiers in my humidor in the office.
We were in the office the other day, and Hector walks in, and every time he walks in, that he's got something that I can't recognize. I'm like, "What are you smoking?" And he had just separated it because he got injured, and when he came back, we had kind of redone the floors in the office, and so he's taken this opportunity to remodel and clear out a lot of shit from his office, and he has bags and bags of old blends. And he says, he looks at me in the best Hector way, and he says, "This is a blend I did 10 years ago that sucked 10 years ago." And I'm thinking he's gonna do one of those and now it's fucking amazing. And he says, "And it still sucks." I can tell you, it still sucks. It hasn't aged well.
It has not aged well. No amount of time was going to make that cigar better. And that happens. And listen, if you meet any guy who blends cigars and tells you that doesn't happen to him, he's lying. He's full of shit. It's full of shit. That's just how it is. It's just how it is.
That's awesome.
And that's it.
I had a question for you, Jack.
Yes, sir.
So how different is it from front of the house and back of the house? Kind of, your divide with you and Hector.
How
Or do y'all work
different?
closely together?
Listen, what you're going to see today for the next X amount of time is how probably Hector and I interact. We fuck with each other a lot. I fuck with Hector a lot more than he fucks with me because Hector doesn't like to be fucked with a lot of the times. But we have a great relationship in the sense that listen, there's an old story of when I met Hector and I kind of freaked him out a little bit because it was
The Great Smoke.
Yes, at the Great Smoke. I really didn't know Hector. I knew of Hector. You're looking back 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago. And I don't know what Hector, and he was always known as Mr. Worth. I don't know what clicked about him with me, that at the end of that event, I looked at him and I shook his hand and I said, "Me and you are going to be friends." And I don't think anybody's ever said that to Hector.
And Hector
was like,
Hector didn't like that. Hector,
yeah. He's like, what's going on? What's going on that this guy likes me?
I had just finished watching season 1 of Oz, and I just didn't like the way that came across.
He's like, what did I do wrong?
But lo and behold, Hector and I have become. Hector is probably one of my closest friends right now, in and out of the cigar industry. So listen, like most friends at the office or outside of the office, we'll disagree on shit, we'll agree on shit, we'll fuck with each other, and you get what you get, you know. And then if there's people out there stupid enough to have us on a podcast at the same time, God help them.
Yeah.
Right?
So
I'm here for the entertainment. Thanks.
I gotta say,
buckle up, baby. We just started.
yeah, listen. During COVID, we had a little podcast during COVID, and we had to stop. Thank God, COVID kind of slowed down, but we had to stop doing that podcast because eventually we were going to get fired or something. I mean, we were bringing guys on who, you know, were saying things that maybe in hindsight they shouldn't have said, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, what are we gonna do? But we're different sides of the house, but yet since we're still a small operation. I mean, if you look at Espinosa's, you know, you have a team of 5 that make up the top hierarchy. Then you have a support staff, and then, you know, you have some warehouse guys. Then you have outside sales. So, you know, we're 20 maybe at the most. We still have a lot of crossover into what, you know, we still have some crossover into blend approvals, into marketing ideas, into any kind of conceptual stuff. We're still small enough to still enjoy that multi-layered effect, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's cool. That's pretty cool.
Listen, whenever there's something that Hector, I confide in Hector a lot. Eric knows that Hector and I are close. Hector, Eric believes he's very slick in the area, that if he wants to say something to Hector that possibly he knows Hector won't like, he'll run it by me, because he knows I will run it by Hector first and soften Hector up.
Yeah.
And Eric thinks he's slick, but, you know, he knows. But he's not. Hector and I have a way of communicating, and whether we like it or not, it is what it is. And I, you know, like Eric, like Junior, like, well, not so much Richie. Not so much Richie. No, but, you know, we all got each other's back.
Yeah, listen, it's a small company, and for a small company to come as far as it's come in the last 13 years says a lot about the leadership of the company. And where I would have told you 5 or 6 years ago that anywhere that we got as a company, or any accolades that we achieved them squarely on the shoulders of Eric. I think we've diversified enough now that his team has grown, and how many companies of our size have 5 guys that they can send out to do events? I mean, you know, there was a weekend a couple of years ago where Jack was somewhere, I was somewhere, Eric was somewhere, Junior was somewhere, and Richie was somewhere. So we, you know, it was like hands across America. We were all throughout, you know, and that helps a company like us. You know, that when you have principles that you are ready reserved to go out and do what they had to do. So it's a good thing.
It angered the people that got Richie, but it was.
It's okay. Listen, you know.
Wow,
Richie.
And there's nobody that we mess with more than Richie. So.
But that said, Richie is having the year of his life. Richie is in his element right now. You know, he's still doing key accounts and doing the state of Florida. And Richie's what is Jack? What'd you call him? A monster. Richie's a monster. Richie's a monster. I mean, sales.
Who currently has COVID?
For like the fourth time, I think.
He's a hugger.
He's a hugger.
I keep telling him to stop fucking hugging people. Stop it. Stop hugging people. Now, listen, he's got COVID 4 times.
I never had COVID. I hug.
Hector's not a hugger.
I'm not a hugger. I'm a dapper. I'm a dapper. I'm a handshaker. I'm also a pant wiper. You know, hey, how are you? Wham! That one leg is always soaked with Purell. Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. Yeah. Slide it right down. Yeah.
Ready to go. Yeah.
Sure, it's Purell. Sure.
God.
It's just vodka.
Yeah.
Vodka.
What I was thinking.
Vodka and gin will work.
There you go. Whatever works.
Grim,
It's over.
Grim,
That's-
Buddy, Grim
that's
hasn't
totally
been
fine.
paying attention to this show in the last half hour.
Who? Grim?
Grim is doing yard work or something. I don't know what the fuck
He's
he's
taxes. He's
I'm late.
Shit. I'm trying to get rid of the echo.
he figures if I'm not involved, they won't mess with me. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. He's been looking out in the
Get rid
yard.
of the echo. For whatever reason, I'm echoing through. So
Yeah. Okay. How many of you guys are married?
All of us.
All of us.
Really? Really?
Yep.
That
That's
is
the other reason
shocking.
it's Sunday at 4
That's what
How
we-
many-
What he's trying to say
how
is,
many of you- how
I'm
many
married
of
to
you
each
are
other.
married
How many of you guys are married to each other? That's where he was going with that, you know.
Wow.
Gibson still got his hand up, you know.
Nice. Okay. Next question. You guys can ask questions.
Let's get it going.
Don't let Hector and I run this fucking show. It's gonna be bad.
Did you go to the Hemingway house, Jack?
I did.
How were the cats there?
There were a lot of them, man. The
A
six
lot of
cats were.
those 6-7 cats.
They were really cool. This time I took the tour, which I didn't years and years ago when I went. So it was very interesting. That Hemingway, he was a fuckhead, man.
Oh,
You know, really, he's adored by many. But this guy, he
had some issues. He had some issues.
He had major issues. Then he blew his fucking head off with a
Then he
shotgun
killed him.
in
Then
Idaho.
he killed
Yeah.
himself. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And he left a nice house in Cuba, which the government still maintains. Absolutely.
Didn't he,
Wait,
didn't
are
he
they
leave it
still
to his
expecting him to
cats?
come back to Cuba?
Well, no,
Well,
no.
he's got one kid with his wife, the Perla or whatever. Her nickname was Perla. His Key West wife. Listen, this dude only lived in Key West for 7 fucking years, and Key West is all Hemingway. You know, they've really adopted this guy. But his Key West wife, because he had many wives, his Key West wife, they had 2 kids, and one of them was still alive in his 90s, living in Montana somewhere. So,
That's probably 90 years old.
yeah. But the house is really cool. That was a lot of fun.
Did you not have a problem going up those stairs along the side of the house?
No, we didn't go upstairs on the side of the house.
Oh, because they have a set of stairs that come down from the second floor. Very narrow.
From his writing room.
Right. Very narrow.
Yeah, no, that wasn't a problem.
All right, back to you guys. The next question will be in Spanish.
Okay.
Shit, I'm gonna find my translator.
We'll lose the whole audience on the next question.
Hang on.
Translate. I gotta get that real quick. So we didn't get to do this, but what are first thoughts on the Knuckle Sandwich Maduro?
I love it.
That's awesome.
Very proud of that cigar. Very proud of that cigar. Very proud of that cigar. Oh, sorry.
You guys are biased.
All right, so for mine, it's been a consistent smoke, good smoke from Light Up. I've enjoyed it always. I'm almost halfway because I'm sitting here enjoying the conversation too much and need to start talking a little bit more. But I am enjoying the hell out of it. How about you, Andy?
I'm gonna go back to. I'm gonna revisit something Jack said earlier, talking about his conversation with Hector. Yeah, it hasn't aged well at all. It's like dog shit. Kidding, it's great.
Really?
Fuente could have been better. I don't know.
Not even your own guys.
Awesome.
Not even your own guys laughed at that joke. That's pretty sad.
That's right, Andy.
I quit. I'm going home.
Oh, we got Andy to quit today.
I'm sorry.
My goal is to make Grim laugh because he has not said a fucking word.
He's laughing.
Oh, okay.
On the inside.
What is, I gotta get a bigger screen. It looks like it says Grim the Taint.
Grim?
The talon. No, the underneath. The talon. Oh, the talon. Okay.
It's about the same thing, though. You know, our talent is more like a tank.
It's a theme.
All right. So, who's the most famous guy you guys have had on your podcast besides me and Jack?
I think we're the first.
Famous?
Who?
I mean, famous or infamous?
No, popular. Popular guy.
Cigar popular.
Oh, you'd have to go with probably Terrence or Skip. Those are the first two that come to mind.
There too. Oh.
You like Terrence. you like Terrence. Terrence is probably the nicest guy in the cigar industry.
Hector, I'm pretty sure we can say anything we want. This show is not going to air, much less be seen by anybody.
heavily edited.
Yeah, but it's like the whole episode is like
audiences
35
only.
seconds.
No, actually, to be
Oh,
honest
my
with
God.
you, Jack, these guys are the kings of they do a lot of segment feeds. Once they got somebody on, they'll do like a minute of the conversation, or they'll do that 8 or 9 times before they release the episode. You guys are cool, man.
Nice.
I like that.
Appreciate that.
No problem,
I
bro.
didn't get the first person to actually say that.
I know what I'm talking about. What else you got there, Gibby?
Well, Billy, what did you think of the cigar so far?
Oh man, yeah. So far, it's awesome. Pretty much same sentiment as everybody else.
Except Andy.
Except Andy.
Except Andy. Okay.
It's not aging well. And well, Grim, we kind of heard from, but we didn't talk about the cigar though. How's the Hemingway?
Why are you setting me up, man?
Why you setting the man up for failure? Come on, man.
See how you guys should have played this is you all should have shown the knuckle sandwich and then lit up Fuente and see how long it took me and Hector to realize what you fucking guys were doing. That's how you should have played it. Hector,
That would have been good.
We
That would've been
we
good.
thought about so many different ways how to do it, and that was just the one we landed on. And
Yeah.
failed, but it was still funny to us.
We said we're not professionals at the beginning of the show.
Exactly. We start the show.
Fire your producer right now. Fire your
God.
producer.
I'm out.
You're the producer? Sorry. Sorry about that.
If
Get
it's
out.
a title, it's Ben.
He's
It's okay.
got too many jobs right now to be fired. So
Listen, corralling 6 guys to do a podcast is not easy. Me and Jack have done hundreds of podcasts where there's just 2 guys, and they can't get on time. They can't be there at the same time. They're stepping all over.
Hector, you corralled 30 people to do a podcast once in split seconds. That was if anybody ever saw the NFL draft show.
Oh, that was
Hector
good.
and I hosted.
That was a
Hector
good
and I was bouncing between everybody in the industry representing their teams. It's a marvel.
That was really good.
No mistakes, no nothing.
Yeah, we did it.
You could be in the middle of telling us how great your team was. If your team drafted, you were gone.
You were gone, so when somebody else was on the clock. If somebody else on the, I don't know if you guys, it's still available somewhere out there. We did it for 2 years, and then on the last year we had to stop doing it because we had a guy that killed the audience. So we'd have to wait 5 years to bring that back. Fake Alan Rubin killed that show. Terrence was on. I think we had to cut him. We had him and Carney on to do New England, and New England
They
traded.
traded their pick. So
Hey guys, gotta go. You guys gotta go. And off they went.
We'll see you in an hour and a half as they traded down.
How about
That's
you,
awesome.
Robert? What do you think of the cigar?
Well, unlike everyone else, I found a store that's 10 minutes from my house that sells this exact cigar. So I've had this many times, and every time I light it, it's just brilliant, and I enjoy the entire thing. I've gotten to the point where I don't even take my phone out when I have a cigar. When I have this cigar,
Robert, you're the new host of the show. Outstanding. Outstanding.
Robert, don't take this wrong, but when you describe cigars, I get a little Silence of the Vibe, a Silence of the Lamb vibe.
It's a little Silence of the Lamb vibe. Yeah.
I enjoy this cigar with a nice.
Is the knuckle sandwich still crying, Clarice?
People are buried in your crawl space, dude.
I always make sure to take my Chianti.
Most likely to get caught as a serial killer. Robert is the winner.
Robert is the a trail of bodies for the 10 minutes from his house to the cigar store.
I've smoked this before,
Much.
Clarice.
It's very good, Clarice. Clarice, are the lambs still crying, Clarice?
Okay, nice.
All right, let's go.
Ashes on the skin.
How about you, Zach?
I have also had the Maduro knuckle sandwich, and they're all bangers. Like I just tried the Connecticut that you all sent because I wanted to try that before the show, since that's the only one I hadn't in the main line that I hadn't had, and it's just a great line.
Jack smokes about a box a week of those.
Really? It's super friendly. Like
Keep
that
that
cigar could
Box
be.
every other day.
keep that a box a week thing going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember Gibbs when I wrote you an email about what you guys are going to smoke? I said Jack will probably be smoking a Knuckle Sandwich, Connecticut, and there it is.
Yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's a great cigar. I'm not gonna lie.
It is a great
it's
cigar.
a great cigar. I love that. I love the Connecticut.
And when
That's
I
up
finish
there
this
with
one,
my favorite.
I'm going to go on to a Knuckle Sandwich Connecticut.
Just to mix it up a little.
Yeah,
bit.
variety is not the spice of life.
I have to keep it fresh.
All I got's a Fuente. Oh.
I'll walk back in the house for another one. It's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah.
No, but Andy, seriously, you're not fond of it? You're not crazy about it, or you're just messing with us?
No, I love it.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just fucking with you.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and mute Andy for about 30 minutes.
I mean, these have all been bad.
You guys are old. Are you guys all? Any of you guys computer guys, like tech guys or IT guys? I almost felt like saying, let's like we're back in IRC. Kick him off, kick him off for.
Well, Andy's
Every
using
one
a
of
bigger mic than Howard Stern. I mean, look at the boom mic he's got in that picture.
That's his professional setup.
Is that a mic?
Yeah, that's a mic.
It's a mic.
Oh, okay.
Not like Grim. Grim's got an AM radio speaker turned inside out, and he's yelling into it. Like, watch it. Come
Look
here.
at that.
Quick.
He's got a nice thing. You're going to need a bigger mic.
I need to stand. I know Ben gets on to me all the time.
Nice.
Yeah, he needs to get up closer to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what Gibbs has Gibbs. I don't know what questions Gibbs got wrote down. I didn't look at the list. If we even made a list for this particular show, because I think
We kind of figured we wouldn't get a chance to talk. Is what we figured.
That's
We were
just-
scared. We were scared. We didn't know how it was gonna go. We were like, oh
Just
shit.
say it. Just say a couple
What
of
do we
words
do?
and stand aside.
Yes,
That's all you
please.
got to
The
do.
plan.
Lead us into anything.
I
and
asked-
stand aside.
Cigar good.
do have-
Go.
I do have a question. When we were at PCA, we got a chance to hear kind of Jack's origin story with Espinosa, which was very cool. Hector, how did you get involved with Espinosa? Was this your first cigar company you worked for? Or?
He asked me where I was. I said, I'm leaving the headquarters. He goes, meet me here. And I met him there, and he says, this is where I'm going to open up. I'm going to open up my own cigar place. I was like, I'm very happy for you, bro. I was working at a shop because it was right at the end of the market. The market had gone to shit here in Miami. So the mayor balanced the budget on the back of his employees, and really kind of screwed us. We didn't have any overtime, so I picked up a little side job. And Eric said, "I want you to come work for me." And I said, oh, "Doing what?" And he said, "We'll figure it out." And 13 years later, we figured it out. I mean, so I've been with him since day one. It's a cool story. Listen, I retired early. I could have stayed another 3 years, but I really wanted to go and get this done and go make some cigars, and that's what we did.
It's awesome.
Very cool.
But since the audience didn't actually get to hear Jack's origin story, Jack, you want to tell it too?
Which version did I tell you? Let's see.
Did you tell him the truth or the other one?
I got the version where I said, you're a Toraño. Somebody in your family made cigars, and that's kind of how we started that conversation.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is that with Hector and Eric back in 2014, when my cousin sold Toraño, we were in the process. Espinosa was, the one thing missing from Toraño's portfolio was really a good full-bodied cigar, and we were starting to do something with Hector and Eric and Lazona. And so that morning, my first phone call, when I got the news that Toraño had sold, Eric and Hector were coming to the office like at 1 o'clock to bring cigars and do a little tasting. And I called Eric and I said, buddy, you're going to hear it soon, but you don't need to come here at 1:30. It's over. And I might have called Hector that. Did I tell you?
No, you sent me a text. I sent
Hector a text.
We weren't that friendly then.
When I left the office that day, I called Eric and spoke to Eric for like half an hour. And if anybody has spoken to Eric, Eric's on the phone a lot, but they're very brief moments. And for Eric to be on a phone call, and Eric was, part consoling me for what happened. And at the time, he was like, listen, I'd love to hire you, but we're like two years in. I can't afford you. I said, I'm not calling you for a job. You know, it was just, I thank you for, you know, listening to, because I mean, I was blindsided. We were all blindsided. And then I went to work for Duran. When Duran ran its course about 18 months later, I the whole time I was trying to work for General to get back on the Toraño side of things. And when that came to an end, I had already signed, sealed, and delivered the General cigar, but I was still working for Duran. On a Wednesday, I put on social media that my time with Duran Cigars is over, this and that, and immediately got a few phone calls, including Eric. And they were basically like, listen, I don't know what your plans are, but at that time, Eric wanted to hire me. And I said, Eric, I'm on Friday, I'm announcing that I'm going to General, and I will be back with the Toraño brand. He said, that's actually a good move. So flash forward 3 years, when I see the writing on the wall with General that the Toraño brand is going to go online only, and I'm basically pretty much going to be out of a job by the end of the year. I was hanging out more and more with Eric, and by the time General let me go, I had already, you know, Eric was like, if they let you go, you're my new national sales director. I'll hold that job for you. Well, the funny thing is, this is the beginning of December. We negotiated everything. Just in case General fired me. On December 18th, General calls me up there to Richmond, and Eric was like, you know, if they called you up there, they're not going to fire you. It was supposed to be brand development. All right. So Eric said, if you're going up there to get fired, why don't you just quit? Screw them. Quit and come work for me. And I said, okay, but they owe me like a 14,000+ commission at the end of the year, bonus. And he says, yeah, you should stay. so
You should probably get that.
yeah, I stayed for that, but in December 18th, when they let me go, I was never, not a minute out of a job. I mean, they let me go. It wasn't a shock. And I remember when I got let go in the office, the guy that let me go, who's a good friend of mine, good friend of ours, actually. And he stepped out of the office, and I called Eric, and I said, I'm on board. And he goes, they fired you? And I said, yeah, I can't talk now, but I'm on board. I said, let's get through the holidays. I'll start work right after the holidays. And then they came back in the office, and they put down, General treated me fantastic. Listen, it wasn't my fault. It's just something they chose to do. They wanted to make Toraño a CI brand. And it wasn't for anything. They never really gave me innovation. They understood that they didn't give me the tools to make that brand succeed. So at the end, they treated me really well. They kept me on the books till the end of December, so I'd be eligible for my bonus. The severance package was insane. And I had just 3 minutes earlier told Eric that I basically was starting January 2nd, and they throw in the severance package, and I don't have to work for the next 6 or 8 months if I don't want to. And I'm like, oh shit! But you know, listen, I remodeled a lot of this house based on that.
Got some new impact windows, some new hurricane windows.
New hurricane windows, and they treated me really well. And then finally, you know, in 2014, when Eric said he couldn't afford me, I would have loved to work for Eric. I've always admired Eric. 2016, he was ready, but I'm going to General. And then finally, it came to fruition at the beginning of 2019. And I'm telling you, my run in this industry, I've never been happier. I get up, I'm excited, I'm happy to go to work.
It's disgusting.
A great team, team to work with. There's been a lot of peace. There's been a lot of peace at the office since January 27th. So we've had it's been a great run, you know. And listen, if the thing that I always tell the sales team is that I don't know. Did Eric Hector give me the finger? Or was that? Or was that?
No, it was not.
You know, when I came back to work for the family in 2010 or whatever it was, I thought, this is it. You know, I quickly fell back in love with the industry. That when I was doing this in the 80s and 90s, you know, this was a dying industry. This was something our grandparents did, and they were all dying. And now this new industry that I quickly learned about, I fell in love with. And I thought, this is it. You know, I'm going to work with the Toraño with my family till the end. 3 years later, that's out. Then, you know, I got a decent job with Duran, but it became a job, not a passion. And then with General, I thought, I'm with General for the rest of my fucking life. 3 years later, I'm out.
So since he's been with Espinosa, he hasn't said anything like that at all. And that was he said, "I'm going to be here forever."
Yeah.
Kiss of death.
6.5 years later, I've never been happier with the family, with anybody that I am, with Eric and Hector and the gang at this place. But, you know, God, I'm going to walk in tomorrow and, you know, Eric has sold the company to whoever. I don't know. So you know, I'm hoping this lasts a long time. I don't need it to. I'm getting up there in age, so I don't need it to last all that much longer. But just a little bit longer.
Just hold on, baby. Hold on. Just hold on.
Yeah.
I mean, Jack, you look good for what? 75?
Wow.
I feel
That's
like it.
payback from PCA.
In the morning, I feel like it. In the morning, I feel like it.
When Jack started, it was salt and pepper here. Now it's pure salt, baby. Look at that.
It went from pepper and salt to salt and pepper to a shitload of salt right now.
Sea salt. He's got that sea salt kicking.
I got the sea salt. I'm 64, so yeah, I'll be January. I'll be getting Medicaid.
And listen, he does.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
He comes in. He comes in all happy and hey, good morning, hey buddy, how you doing? This motherfucker.
Oh, calm down.
This guy, Jesus Christ, man, you know.
He's the positivity there.
I had my coffee.
He is a man of the people. Listen, we went to where were we? In Washington. We were in Washington or in Oregon. Remember how we landed? We had to rent a car. And I'm sitting down waiting for Jack, and I look over, and Jack's having a conversation with people online. I go, "Do you know him?" He goes, "No, I was just making friends." I go, "Stop doing that. Stop. We don't need any more friends. Your Facebook is full already. You don't need any more people. All right? Making friends. Hey, yeah. Fuck, man. You know.
I was wearing the Knuckle Sandwich Welcome to Flavortown, the Lazona Palooza t-shirt in Key West yesterday. And this couple stopped me because they were coming up behind me. They saw the Welcome Big Guy fans, and they came around. They said, can we see the front of your shirt? And I explained to him what it was, and the guy says, "Yeah, I love Knuckle Sandwich cigars." So naturally, I got my wife in her purse carrying Knuckle I'm handing out cigars on the streets of Key West. So he's my new Facebook buddy. Hector, a guy that I randomly met yesterday. Real nice guy.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, we felt bad at the show because there were so many people coming up to the table. Because when we were talking to Jack, we were taking up way too much of his time. You know,
remember that next year.
Up, like asking questions, stuff like that. Well, we were having such a good time with him.
We did.
And we were like, well, he's not moving, so we're just gonna keep talking.
What day did you see Jack at the show? The first day, the second day?
I think it was the second day.
Second day, I think.
Yeah, he got much better. By the second day, he was much better doing the interviews. First day was a little rough, but the second day, he was on it.
Oh,
first day, you had Guy Fieri there, which is hard. Guy Fieri, having Guy there is hard.
So because of Hector handles the media. Hector handles all the walkthroughs, but Hector hasn't been there the last 2 years. So last year the Hector not going was a last minute thing. This year we knew it was happening, so I set up the interviews better, but no interviews the first day, no nothing. Let's move to day 2. Let me get through the guy day. Let's move to day 2 and we'll do all the interviews. So I don't know what. I have Hector putting out blend reports and all the things for the sales team. You would think I would read them. I don't read this shit.
No, it doesn't read any of it.
Anyways, we get to. So I don't remember who it was. Who was it, Hector?
It was the guy from Kevin Shahan.
Kevin Shahan. I run into him. Now, the guy's not getting there till 11 in the morning, and I run into him at 9:15 in the morning on day 1, and he's like, "Dude, if you're not doing anything right now, we have an appointment for 11 tomorrow. Why don't we knock it out?" And I'm like, "All right," not thinking that I don't even know the fucking blends. And the moment I start talking about the cigars, if you watch that interview, I'm like, "Oh fuck, Hector's gonna kill me." Like, I can't. This is a beautiful cigar. It's green. It's got a green box.
There's tobacco in it. There's a lot of tobacco in it.
So I kind of really fumbled through that one, and the rest, I figured the next morning I'll just go through the notes and okay, this is Mexican San Andre, this is whatever made up wrapper we put on it. I don't know.
Tobacco from the moon.
Yeah, I'll go through it and study it, and I'll be fine. But I wasn't planning on having to do that on Saturday morning, so that first one was a little rough. And the good credit to me, I knew it was really bad when it happened, and I kept mentioning it during that. And then I told Hector about it, and then Hector saw it, and he goes, "Yeah, that was bad.
That was awful.
That was really bad.
That's terrible.
I think I told you might as well let Richie do it.
I still think it would have been bad. Mine was
Well,
better.
I mean, I think we were a breath of fresh air for Jack because he was like, "You're not going to stick a camera in my face?" I'm like, "No, let's just sit down and
No.
talk." He's like, "Yes."
No, we had a great time. We had a great time.
And then he calls Hector and goes, "Who the fuck are these guys?"
Yeah, I had a group of 6 here that looked like they were all homeless. Who the hell are these guys?
Well, I think somebody was missing, right? It was only 5 of you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert.
Robert was out killing somebody.
You can't legally prove that.
There's no evidence to contradict that.
I mean, he does have a proximity to a pig farm for a reason. I'm just saying. That's right. But you got to pull the teeth out first. Remember that.
That's right. Have you guys seen Mobland?
I want to watch that. That looks so good.
I haven't
Unbelievable.
seen it yet.
Fantastic.
Is
I
it?
went to start it, and the first episode hadn't dropped. I was like, "Damn it, this looks really good. I want to watch it."
I'm watching it tonight. I'm going to start watching it tonight. So
Yeah, it's all dropped.
No, I've been watching Landman.
Yeah, man's
I
awesome.
just, listen, it really kicks off when Pierce Brosnan dies in episode 2. It really, really moves forward.
Yeah, that's one I've been wanting to catch. But if you haven't watched it,
What a dick.
Landman,
Dropping a spoiler right immediately.
I'm trying to talk right over that so Hector, forgets about it really quick.
Hector knows that doesn't happen. All right.
all right, let's wrap this shit up.
Go.
Next.
Y'all, I'm out.
I hear somebody's wife calling. Wait, it's mine. See ya.
He's secretly texting on the side. I need you to come get
Honey,
me.
get me out of this.
Call me in 5
Yeah, this
minutes.
shit.
Tell me it's an emergency.
You're Jack. You're kind of
What
the
did you guys think of?
What do you mean aliens? Aliens landed where? Okay.
What did you guys think of New Orleans? Did you like it? Was that your first trade show, or have you guys been doing this podcast for 10 years that I don't know about? Or? No.
No,
that
we're
was
only
our
in like our
first
second year.
Second year.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is your
Yeah,
first
we're
trade
from-
show.
Yes,
What'd you
definitely
think?
first trade show. It was amazing. Everybody was extremely friendly. We got to meet a lot of new people that we didn't even know existed. So we were really happy about that. Made some good contact. Yeah. Well, no, that's not how we met. We knew Terrence beforehand.
Nah.
He just didn't. He was really busy when we got to see him there, though. So
That's what he
fun.
tells everybody.
That's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Those people, they all work in that booth. Those aren't customers. They all work there.
I'm real busy.
Well, we talked to Hector a little bit, checking in with Hector after we got back. Plus, after we found out that he tried to drive through a tractor trailer at a stoplight instead of stopping.
He stopped.
I stopped.
It stopped.
He stopped.
The inertia was met with resistance. Yes.
He stopped.
I'm going to say the same thing I told Hector. The show was great, but overwhelming as fuck.
It absolutely is sensory overload. Absolutely sensory overload. My first show, I was, the good thing is that our first show, nobody knew who the fuck we were anyway. So we walked around like nobody would mess with us. Now we can't walk the show floor without somebody stopping and saying hello, which is great. But in the first year we went, and it was where was our first show? Orlando. Orlando was not a great venue. I mean, the convention center's nice, but there's no after hours place to meet. I mean, just that hotel that's off site. But that first show, you're walking around going, look at these booths. Some of these booths were just Now you're like, yeah, whatever. Hey, Padron, no, nice booth. You know, it's the same. You know, you see the same booths a lot, and you recognize
You
it's a
guys,
different.
you guys came to the Toraño parties in Orlando. We threw 2 nice tent parties.
Yeah, we did, but we were nobodies though. We were nobodies at the time.
Yeah, I would have thrown your ass out. I didn't know who you were.
Yeah.
You were part of the guys in there that Charlie would come in and go, "Who the fuck are those guys?" I have no idea.
Never heard of them.
Something with cigars. I don't know.
Never heard of them.
A lot of cigars and a lot of shaking hands and not remembering who the fuck hands I shook and who, you know, trying to keep up with who we met and keep track of.
I mean, we're back in New Orleans next year, and the year after that is Vegas. And Vegas is more like square. Most, you know, you have a certain amount walking sideways, certain amount walking deep. New Orleans is long as shit. New Orleans isn't a deep show. You know, front to back, it's not very deep, but it is wide as all hell. You know, I luckily we were busier than this was the best trade show we've ever had, so we were pretty much slammed the entire time because I usually like to walk around and you know, there's years that Hector will say, this guy's got a new cigar I want to try, and I'll go trick-or-treating and trading cigars so we can try other people's cigars.
That was not the case. That was not the case this year.
I didn't make it anywhere. I couldn't, other than the one booth I went through 100 times was Drew Estate because it was on the way to the back. But other than that, I made it like 3 booths to the right, 3 booths to the left, and whatever I passed on the way in, which was Gurkha and Rocky.
And you know, and that's important. I mean, you want to try the new stuff. I mean, you want to get a chance to try new stuff from other people as well. But the last 2 years have been hard. It's been hard last 2 years.
It was overwhelming for me. I can't imagine these guys being new and having to want to visit everybody. That had to have been insane.
It was nonstop.
Yeah, it was. We scheduled out our days for interviews to make sure we hit the people that we wanted to hit, and then we tried to squeeze in and say, "Hey, I want to go see these guys because I've heard about them and I want to try their stuff." But yeah, other than that, it was, I mean, very overwhelming, but fun. It was still a lot of fun.
Where did you guys end up staying?
We ended up staying at it was a. I forgot the name of the company that does it.
It was a crawfish camp. Andy set him up with.
It was an Airbnb.
Everybody that you asked that question says, "Oh, dude, we were like a block or 2 away from the trade show, but it still took half an hour to get to your booth."
Sure.
I mean, it's the longest walk on the planet. We were next to the park of the opening party, and it would take 25 minutes to get to the booth.
To the park.
You know, we were real close to Hall A, but not Hall H. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It was crazy, but it was a lot of fun. Yeah, we were only blocking an half away as well. But speaking of the trade show, let's talk about your new product, the La Bamba. Well,
Warhead.
Not the Chicago. That one we will never get, but that's okay.
Wow.
But the new La Bamba, that thing is fucking fantastic. We are still talking about that.
Are you talking about the 11 or are you talking about the Independence Day?
Independence Day. Independence Day.
Yeah. Independence Day, I've gotten a lot of feedback on Independence Day because it's a cigar that we've really never made anything like that. It's a very heavy cigar. It's a very full flavored cigar. It's, you know, we have some cigars that are full flavored. We have cigars that are heavy-ish, but not like that. That cigar is really. One guy DM'd me and said, "Hey, you guys are getting back to your roots." I didn't understand what he meant by that because I don't think I can't recall making a cigar like that at all. But I just think it was a good takeoff on what we've been doing. Look, the regular Warhead is the same blend year in and year out. It just changes because of the size, and the size changes the flavor a little bit and the profile of it. But the Independence Day is a completely new animal, completely different thing. And listen, I've got a few squirreled away that Jack brought me back. Until we see them again, I'm not smoking them because I don't know if we're ever gonna have any left over. I mean, it's these guys did such an incredible job selling at the show this year that there may be some instances that there's nothing left over for us. And if there's nothing left over, I can't ask the factory to send me a bundle. they're not going to stop production to make a bundle of something for me. So
You can ask. They just won't.
they won't happen. Yeah, you can ask all you want. You can ask, but it's not going to happen.
You shall not receive.
So is that going to be discontinued, or is that going to be a normal line?
You will see Independence Day, I guess. I think next year for sure you'll see Independence Day. I would like to keep the blend the same just because but here's the thing, and I don't not to get too much inside baseball with you. We haven't delivered product yet because we've been waiting on Nicaragua now, which is the one that arrived now. 11 arrived, or was it Independence Day that showed up, Jack? One of them showed up.
And, Independence Day is coming in the boxes.
Okay, so we haven't.
Warhead 11, Warhead 6, and Warhead 1 are in the office. The cigars.
Just waiting for the content on the boxes. So I would like to tell you that it'll be the same blend as next year, but what we're really waiting for is the reception that we get once the cigars land. Once the cigars make it to the shops, then hey, this was a blend that really hit. People, when we start getting the reorders that we can't satisfy, we know that for sure that's a cigar that's coming next year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the cigar I'll definitely go 32 miles for. Absolutely.
There you go. They're supposed to Knuckle Sandwich Maduro, Independence Day, and Chef Special should be there tomorrow. It just means they'll start shipping tomorrow.
Did you get a chance to try the Chef Special while you were? Did you get a sample of Chef Special?
No.
Jack was generous. No, we didn't. No, we didn't get that.
Yeah.
Is that not a secret anymore?
Let me tell you. That should tell you that how do you say it in English, Hector? Que me cayeron bien.
You guys, he liked you guys.
Yeah, because we only had 2 bundles of Chef Special. Yeah. 2 bundles, and I gave these guys one of them.
Yeah, we appreciate the hell out of it. He said, "Don't say anything." But we didn't say anything until you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really happy with the way that cigar came out as well.
Yeah, we're actually going to do a show.
Why did you give those guys a Chef Special?
And I don't have any. Why did those guys get Chef Special and I don't have any here at the office? What kind of shit is this?
I got yelled at for that. No,
this is some bullshit.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. Like I said, we're going to do a show on that one because that was a special one for us, so we want to do a show on that one. But also the Puro. I haven't got to smoke mine yet, but the guys that have smoked it say it's fantastic. So let's talk about
fantastic.
that.
One of the best received new releases we've done in a while. I mean, listen, we flooded that trade show.
If you got
2,700.
If you went to the trade show and you didn't try Puros because you didn't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they handed out like another 1,700 at the party, plus the samples they handed out at the show. So we flooded the market with that.
Yeah.
And I still had people Sunday night. I've heard a lot about Puro. Can I give it a try?
No.
There's none left. It was 1,700 at the show, 500, 600 more at the fireside chat with Cigar Aficionado, and then another 400 or 500 we gave out at the booth. Everybody wanted that cigar, and we gave it to everybody. We don't have any more.
Yeah, I think so. You had that. You had the one. You had Re-Up, which is we brought back Warhead 1 and 6. 1 being the original, the OG, and 6 being probably the most popular of all of them, and the strongest of all the Warheads because of the format. It came in it's a Perfecto. And people just really, that punched a lot of man cards when that cigar came out 5 years ago. See, what else did we release new? That's it. We had the Puro, the Knuckle Sandwich, the Puro, the Chef Special, and the 3 Warheads. So, I mean, 5 releases. And that's not bad for a company our size. That's a lot of releases for a company our size.
That's a lot of releases.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. Just for
small company.
Just for like perspective, how many sticks a year do you guys make? Well, last year maybe as a.
I would say we bring in probably 2.5 million, 3 million cigars a year, something like that.
So y'all definitely moving out of boutique. Y'all are going definitely.
That's one of those. That boutique question is almost one of those. You have to put a think tank together. What is a boutique cigar? What is a boutique cigar brand? What is look, guys like Drew Estate. they're the original boutique. That's what they call themselves, the original boutique brand. They make 190,000 cigars a day. I mean, but their roots are based in the boutique brand, and I think so are ours. But yeah, we might be getting to a point where boutique might be something that's in our rearview mirror as we become a company that's now known for having a, as I like to call it, what I tell Jack, I think I told Jack last year, I said, eventually we're going to have to go to 2 pages on this order form. This sales form is going to have to be 2 pages. We got a lot of stuff. I mean, it's the nature of the beast that, and I think I said it on your show, and I say it all the time. There's 2 questions asked at a cigar store. The first one is, how you doing? And the second one is, what's new? And in these times right now, with the economy the way it is, cigar imports down 9% in Nicaragua, 19% from Honduras, and some companies are still thriving. It's because you have new limited, the limited stuff. Not just core stuff, but you have limited stuff that guys will say, well, you know what? I want to try that. And they'll put whatever money they've allocated for cigars, which is still a luxury item. You're not going to stop smoking. You're just going to smoke differently. You're just going to allocate your money differently. And, guys like to try new shit. And, we're lucky enough that we have seen the light, and we know that new is where it's at, man. New is where it's at. You want to keep core. You want to keep core strong, and you want to keep core consistent, but you want to have innovation. Luckily, we have that kind of mentality.
Listen, going back on the boutique stuff, there's no way you can classify this industry as either boutique or one of the big ones. There's got to be other categories, because there's you either got to go sub boutique, but there has to be a middle category. I think we fall firmly in that middle category.
Yeah, I agree. But the thing is, not everybody's ever going to agree on it. I remember several years ago, one of the online media guys who do Factory of the Year. We were in contention for Factory of the Year, but we lost it. We lost small Factory of the Year to a company that makes 4.5 million cigars a year, and they consider them small. So I mean, listen, it's what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Well, our gauge is based off the million mark. If you make over 1 million, we kind of classify you as like you're getting out of the boutique. You're starting to go into, you're doing really well. You're starting to get out of it.
But don't forget, we're also in our 13th year. If you look at you look at 12. Excuse me. You look at 13 years with an average of, we came in with 4, 5, 7. We came in with 8 to 9 core lines already when we started our first year. And then you're adding 3 to 4 a year. Some years you've added 5. One year we added 2. So you're looking at 13 times 4. Let's make it 52 new items. And the majority, I'd say 75 to 80% of them have been continued. Yeah, there's some cigars that we made that didn't hit, or hit only for a short while, and then you either go back to the drawing board or you move on. So it's every company goes through that, every single one.
And yeah, we've made that comment. Is like if you're a cigar company today, you can't stay stagnant. You have to constantly learn. You have to constantly grow. You have to constantly come out with something new, like you're saying, just to keep up with the market. Because everybody's coming out with something new. You want to compete with that because they're going to allocate their money to that other new thing if you don't have the new thing. So
if it was up to me, we'd release a new cigar every month. I mean, that's not going to happen, but if it was up to me, that's what I would. If I had a cigar company, I'd release something new every month. Thank God we don't.
Fucking fantastic like this, man. You got nothing to worry about. Shit.
Yeah, but you put your sales team. You even though you don't believe you would, but you stress your sales team out. Now your sales team is yet another new cigar this month. I mean, they look at it as exciting, but that's a lot of cigars, man. That's think about releasing 12 cigars.
And the question you have now with Knuckle Sandwich Maduro is the same question every manufacturer has. Are we just cannibalizing ourselves? Is the guy that's smoking the Maduro just moving the Puro? How many new people are we going to get on board with Knuckle Sandwich with that cigar? I mean, hopefully there'll be a handful of them, but in reality, a lot of it is you're cannibalizing yourself. You can look at the numbers at the end of the year, and one of those, Connecticut, Habano, Maduro will take a little dip, and Buddha will take a huge jump. You know, the others could take a dip. So a lot of it is how to prevent the massive cannibalism of yourself in this industry.
And I
You
think
put
the
out
only
too many cigars, you're catering to the Espinosa fan, to the people that come to Lozanapalooza, to those people. But they're just moving from one brand to the other.
the only way you can try to offset that, and I say try, is to make sure
Free
that
t-shirts.
the only way you can try to offset that is to make sure that that you're a company that no two releases taste the same. Because if you smoke, like Jack said, Jack used Maduro. If you smoke Maduro, Puro and Maduro are not similar. The Habano and the Puro are not similar as well. The Connecticut by far is not. The chef specials every year are different. One year was Habano, one year was Sumatra, last year was Broadleaf, this year was Matafina. So you try to keep them different. So you have at least some variety. But like Jack said, either way, somebody, you're going to cannibalize yourself even a little bit, no matter how hard you try.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
so going back to that, instead of Hector, instead of releasing a cigar a month, if you had the opportunity, would you dial that back maybe to every quarter or every 6 months?
Well, I think what we're doing now is what we've done. I think the last 2 years is major, a nice number of releases at the show, and we already have some built-in cigars that are released during the year. We do the Knuckle Sandwich birthday cigar. That is probably the most in-demand cigar that we make. I mean, we started with 500 boxes, and and then that's a marker in our history. It's one of those markers where you make the cigar, you make these boxes, and then you turn to each other and go, we're not a 500 box company anymore. We can't make 500 boxes because all we do is upset retailers that want 10 and end up getting one. End up getting
And then
2.
the next year we made 1,000, and we quickly said we're not 1,000 bucks.
Yeah. So we are now at. I think that this next birthday cigar we'll probably make around 2,000 boxes, just to satisfy the demand, because this is a cigar people look for.
To hopefully make it to day 3 of the show, because they sell out on day 1 and 2.
Oh no, I'm talking about the birth. I'm talking about his birthday cigar, 58. So that comes out in January. We try to do like a late summer, early fall release, and then just kind of hold on. And now that we're members of the TAA, we do a TAA cigar, which we've done 2, and they have been so incredibly received. I mean, it's incredible. They were the top. I wasn't at the TAA, but they were at the TAA last year, and that Chicago was the talk of the TAA. Not because the cigar was good, it's because it has such a catchy tagline. These guys running around, they have people running around going, Chicago, just yelling Chicago. And that cigar is gone. You can't find that cigar. I mean, we don't have a single cigar left in the office.
So you know what we discovered, Hector? The box that's sitting on display in the conference room is full.
Not tomorrow.
Eric did a video the other day, and he grabbed it off the wall because he has an event at a TAA store, and they have like 10 boxes, and he wanted to showcase to move those 10 boxes before the upcoming. This is a store that bought like 100 of these fucking things.
They have 10
and when
left.
he pulls it down, he goes, do we have any Chicago? And I said, no, you got the box right behind you, but it's empty. And when he picks it up, he goes, it feels heavy. And he opened it, fucking full. And I'm like, okay, let's see. That won't
so
be
you
very
still
long.
have my address, right, Jack? You still got my address?
Yeah. I do. You're gonna have to drive 30
half
miles.
You're gonna have to go a little further than 30 miles.
I'll do it.
You know how happy I was when I offered to send you guys cigars and I get 4 addresses.
He got a little cute. He got a little cute with that.
Jack calls me and goes, "What the hell kind of show is this shit?"
Are you sending cigars to your Grammy? What is this?
Bad. I know it's bad. But I did want to ask you about one that I did see at the show that I've never seen before, the wasabi. What's that all about?
All right, so wasabi's been in our portfolio. Yeah, wasabi's been in our portfolio probably like 7 or 8 years now. there was a time we were making cigars for some really small boutique brands that didn't pan out. But the guy had an idea for a cigar, and he wanted to call it pickle juice. Let me tell you, their marketing concept, had they been able to apply themselves a little more and travel, they probably would have succeeded, because their approach was very similar to the Viaje approach. Limited production, small numbers, very kitschy kind of marketing. So they had it looked like a pickle jar, and they had the 10 cigars in there. They wanted it to be a Candela wrapper. I'd never worked with Candela, so I go to Nicaragua, and I have a hard time working with Candela. I remember going to see another I remember going to see another manufacturer and telling him that I was stuck, and he said, "What are you using as binder?" I said, "Well, in Indonesian." He goes, "Get rid of that Indonesian. Put some flavor behind it to get rid of the grassiness." Well, I got back in my car, drove to the factory, and we made 3 blends. One of them became pickle juice. I gave him 2 blends to try and 1 for ourselves that I kept. And the one for ourselves was a box press Candela, and it had a little Habano tip on the Candela. We wanted to call that cigar Kermit's Johnson. It looked like a frog's dick, because it had the little. And to avoid getting sued by the children, Children's Television Network or workshop, we didn't. We ended up calling it wasabi, and immediately, people make the connection of in this industry, people make the connection of colors and words, and all of a sudden find that flavor subliminally in the cigar. I can't tell you how many people told me, "Man, that wasabi, the orange, really comes out in that." I go, "What are you talking about? Orange? There's no orange flavored tobacco in that cigar." But that's what their mind, that's what they saw. That's what they saw. So I came up with a story that the guy who works in the material, Prima, he spilled Sunny Delight on one of the boxes of wrapper, and that's why it tastes like orange. And I kind of went with that. The wasabi is, look, it's a Candela. We don't release it. It's not a cigar we release on St. Patrick's Day. It's a regular release cigar. We sell a couple thousand boxes a year. It has a constant clientele, and we're happy with it. I mean, could we live without it? Sure. But, once you have a cigar that sells, the last thing you want to do is pull it off the shelf, especially if you don't have a replacement. And I don't see us working with making another Candela. Not with all the trouble we went through to make that.
Yeah, we've heard that Candela is
really,
really
Candela
hard
is
to work with.
really thin and hard to work with, right?
It's not that it's very grassy. Listen, I smoked probably 10 different Candela cigars to try to come up with some blends, and the majority of them were just awful. There were 3 or 4 that were really good. I thought Skips was really good, and I thought that the one that Dion makes was really good, and La Flores wasn't bad either. So I tried to make something similar to that, but not identical, because there's no way we can make an identical cigar. And it hit enough that that we keep it going. And as a matter of fact, they grew into 3 sizes. We make it in a Lancero, we make it in a Corona, we make it in a Robusto. So it's done its job. It's a placeholder in the sales on the sales sheet.
Yeah, well, you said you smoked a couple other ones. Have you ever tried the Maverick from Silent Hero Cigar?
Silent Hero.
That's a cigar that came out several years after we had done wasabi.
Yeah.
Now, I'm talking about cigars. If it was a Candela made 7 or 8 years ago and it was on the market, I tried those. I really haven't tried another Candela after that.
Okay, well, that's what it sparked me, because I was like, I had that one. I was like, it was very good, so it had me open up my palate to.
What cigar is that? I've never even heard of that cigar.
Silent Hero?
It's called the.
Yeah.
It's a new brand. He's out of Montana, and it's Silent Hero Cigar, and it's called the Maverick. And it was a fantastic Candela. It's the first one that I've ever had that I wasn't, just like Hector saying, that didn't taste like.
I would have loved to see Montana.
Wyoming, the cigar capital of America.
Yeah, Wyoming.
Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. It's Wyoming. It's Wyoming. And it's fantastic. And that's why I was like, I want to try that wasabi now, because he's got me intrigued. So that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I
just be wary. Not all Candelas are made the same. Some just aren't good. But you have to remember, there's a history to Candela. It was the number one selling wrap cigar up until like the 1950s here in the United States. It's it's a cigar but those guys are dying off. It's sad but true.
yet, so I was just curious. That I definitely want to find that one if I can.
I'm pulling a jack. My Maduro decided it was retired for the afternoon, so here we are with a Candela. Or not a Candela. Damn it.
Connecticut.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Point there, Andy.
Connecticut.
We were talking Candela. Fuck off.
The first Connecticut
Words are hard.
ran out, so I let him know.
All right, so since we are getting to the very nub on this, let's go ahead and rate it for him.
Buddy, I sent you 5 cigars. Throw that thing away and light something else. Jesus Christ.
Remember, we're spoiled, Jack. We're spoiled. We smoke a cigar about 2/3 of the way, and then we toss it. Guys, when guys have to pay for it, it's different.
They didn't pay for any of those cigars. So throw that shit away. Light another cigar.
But I like
But
it.
after the show's over,
It's got notes of fingernail right now. It's got
notes of saliva and fingernails
yeah.
Burnt
Slightly
fingernails
burnt
at that.
and motion lotion.
That's how I get ready, man.
That's how you
I get pumped.
No shit. No pun intended.
Oh, I think pun was intended there.
So start to finish, fantastic cigar. I haven't had to touch it up once. So the construction on it's amazing. I like the. I can't quite pick out that taste of that I'm getting, but it's very pleasant, and I really enjoy it. And
Hey Gibbs, just for the record, we didn't need you to review the fucking cigar. I can give a shit.
Please cancel this week.
I give a shit what you think
This
about the
isn't
cigar.
for you, Jack. Jesus Christ! Damn it,
Got
man.
notes.
Jack wasn't
It's
always
got
going to be
notes of pepper and Jesus.
I taste
What
cranberry.
is it? Is it a 91? What is it? Anyway.
You know
Just give me a number, baby. Give me a number. We ain't got time for all this bullshit.
There you go. It's a number.
There we go.
It's a 1.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
It's a 5 for me, and that's 5 out of 5.
All right, attaboy.
That's
I'll definitely have
beautiful.
another one.
Beautiful. It's right up there with
Andy,
the
how about
Fuentes.
you? Since this guy's being a jerk face McGee, I'm gonna get another drink.
Nah, he's gonna call his therapist. Jack is so mean.
Jack is such a dick.
The guy that
But he's a man of the people.
The guy that mentioned he was jerking off a few minutes ago is offended now.
That reminds me, I got something better to do. Hold on.
Yeah.
He'll be back in 3 minutes.
That's all I need.
On that note, anybody else got a review?
Grim is so happy going. I'm glad they're fucking with Gibbs and not me. They're leaving me alone today. I like that. Nobody's happier than Grim right now.
That's right, fuck kids. Yay.
I'll give mine since I finished mine. Best worst of first cigar I've had all day.
I don't know what that means, but I'm good.
I don't know. I think Andy's
No,
a little
it's,
smart. I'm a little smart ass here.
What? No.
When I told Hector you guys were at the show, I talked to Hector at the end of the day, every day at the trade show, how'd it go? And I told you guys, the first thing he said was, "Did you fuck with Grim?" I'm like, I barely know these guys. Which one was Grim? I said, but I'm pretty sure I fucked with him.
You did.
Yeah.
He's the only guy that looks like a Grim. He's the only guy that looks like Grim. Everybody else looks like that's right. You're Grim, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, honey. We're almost done here.
All right.
He was beaten off before the show.
Twice.
Twice.
That's in 6 minutes.
He had 2 guests.
Both hands.
He did the stranger first.
We're
All right,
relying
go
on
ahead.
one stranger. Yeah, strangers first. That's what I'm saying.
He
Always
he
first.
was doing the,
You know.
he was doing the Trump. All right, next.
Great cigar, Hector. Jack, you sell it well. Out of a 5 scale, I give it a 5, just because it's a delicious fucking cigar, and I don't have anything to add to that.
All right,
I mean,
after
I'm not gonna
everybody.
follow up,
All right, let's go. 2.
Was it worth
Bobby, you're up.
Was it worth
Really?
the price you paid for it?
Absolutely.
Twice.
Twice.
I paid
so.
twice what I paid for it. Twice what I paid for it.
Next.
All right,
You're
Billy.
Man, I'm scared to talk. Fuck it. I'm giving it a 5.
My man.
And that's it.
Thank you. Go ahead and mute him. Mute him. He's good. He's good. he said the number. Mute him.
Silence of the Lamb's gonna give it a 3. I can feel it.
Grim?
No,
Grim, how
no.
about you, buddy?
Me? No. It's not a Fuente, and that's fantastic. Wow.
Hey.
My man.
Not a Fuente. I love it. Robert, the serial killer now?
I'll be having mine with an old friend soon.
Oh, nice. Having dinner with an old friend. Having an old friend for dinner. Very good.
I got a
Very
feeling
nice.
Hector's gonna live in Tennessee next to you for about a week, and then we won't hear from Hector anymore.
No, Zach lives in Tennessee. Zach's the one who lives in
I'm in Tennessee.
Zach's in Tennessee.
Wherever
Yeah, I want to know where Robert is at all times.
So do the authorities.
He's got
So do the
a
authorities.
bracelet to track him. So,
How about you, Zach? What you got, man?
well, at some point, I'd like to smoke a cigar that's bad from Espinosa. So, I haven't found one yet.
Hector's
But I
got
also
some in
give
his
it a
office
5.
I can
It's a
send
great
you.
cigar.
I got some in my office I can send you.
That'd be a fun episode. Have like the
Yeah.
rejects on one show where we actually talk bad about Espinosa for 5 minutes.
I'm all in. I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
I'm out. I'm out on that.
Yeah. No, I'm a big fan of the Knuckle Sandwich line. I haven't had the rest of the Espinosa line, but I have a few to try thanks to Jack and Hector, and I'm looking forward to it. So, big fan. Thank you.
Big fans. So what you rated, buddy?
It was a 5.
5.
It's a great cigar.
Damn, that is 5
I've had
across
the
the
Maduro
board.
a couple times, and I got one in my humidor still, and it's just a solid cigar. It's just so pleasant.
My man.
I would like to give you a hard time about it, but
What do you got there?
I freaking love
What do you got there? What do you got there, Robert?
Another one.
Nice.
A Maduro.
It's his backup.
This is back up.
Plan
Well,
ahead, man.
for this, well, for this,
With fava beans and a nice
Baba
Chianti.
bean and a nice Chianti. Yeah.
so for this episode, we did have something special that one of our soon-to-be sponsors is gave Zach. So we wanted to do kind of an unveiling if you have a little bit of time.
Shit.
We got 3 minutes.
because he's worried about it because it does have like a phallic shape to it.
I'm shocked you have a sponsor.
Trust me, Jack. We
assuming this
are
is
Let me
too.
guess. Let me guess. Terrence Riley.
Was it Advanced Auto Parts? You guys are sponsored by John Deere, I would guess, right?
Well, maybe.
It's the green shirts.
All right. What did you got there?
Finn's Woodwork is a friend of ours who does some like laser engraving and some woodworking stuff, and he sent me a package that definitely doesn't look like something inappropriate. But we'll let me open this up.
But to give you all
He
a bit
didn't
of a
send that shit to
backstory,
you. His dog did.
yeah, his dog did.
Yeah, the dog sent it.
It's Flynn's woodworking and design.
Finn. There's no L,
I'm
dumbass.
sorry, it's
Finn.
Flynn's woodworking and design. My bad.
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
And that was your first sponsor.
Now they're in fighting. We've achieved our goal.
Their
That's it.
ex-sponsor.
It gets worse.
This
Sorry,
episode
fuck.
was brought to you by Headlines.
But he's synonymous with sending us
Fuente
what we
Locos?
call lovingly the Dwayne the Cock Johnson, which is basically exactly what we said it is it's somebody's junk with the Rock's head on the top of it. It's actually amazing,
Oh.
but it's also scary when they send you stuff. So not that any
We
of
have
his
an
customers
example
would
after
get
we
it.
record.
I am pleasantly surprised that it is not a dick. Oh, it's sweet. It's a
Look at that.
leaf cutter.
Nice.
Hey.
You're the only one that got it.
another box here.
A pair of balls
He
in the
only
other
likes
box.
that. Yeah, the pair of balls.
Yeah,
is
it's
there.
probably
Definitely
just
there.
full of
Here
dicks.
comes the dick.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
The next one is a picture of the guy whacking off into that cup he just gave him.
He just says, enjoy.
I'd wash that cup. I'd run that through the dishwasher a couple hundred times before you use that. Just saying. Coffee or whiskey, it doesn't matter. I didn't ask you.
Nice.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
Nice, very nice.
That's awesome.
And then it says get wood
There you go.
Got
or got wood.
Got wood.
And the Finn,
And then,
there is no L. It is Finn.
There's no L.
Dumbass.
Finn, yeah. Yeah. Well, this is excellent. Thank you, Justin.
I quit.
And thank you for not sending me any more dicks.
Zach, just so you know, happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you.
Oh, happy
birthday
birthday,
today?
buddy.
I figured that was
It's Zach's birthday.
no, it was in May, but a couple weeks ago.
But we
I
made him
got
wait
this
to open it.
package that looked like a dick, and it was nondescript and said I had to open it on the show.
So he was nervous the entire time, like it's going to be a dick. I know it's going to be a dick.
I'm very relieved that this is not a dick.
I'm wondering what the post office X-ray guy when the last package came. What the fuck is this? You know.
Yeah.
Hey, not my
I was
package.
like, oh, it's just a bag of dicks, no problem.
We may or
But,
may not have sent a bag of those to somebody.
That's,
I do wanna
that's
say
that's
thank you
quite
guys for being
that's
on the
quite
show.
travel humidor you got there, Robert.
Thank you.
It's a fucking plastic grocery bag. That's nice.
It is.
Does it hold
Something
humidity
we'll
well?
take care of. Well, we definitely want to thank you guys for being on the show and take this time now to tell us anything you got going on. Tell us anything that you want people to know. And floor is yours.
Well, listen.
I got dinner in
tomorrow.
30 minutes.
I'm gonna want dinner in 30 minutes. What are you? 4:30.
70. Yeah.
Early budget special, man.
I will be in the one of my favorite road trips, Albany, Syracuse, and Buffalo this week. So
Wow.
Nice.
yeah, I'm very excited about that.
Nice.
I got another podcast in there somewhere. A guy reached out.
Well, good.
So yeah, that'll be a fun trip. And then we've turned our sights to preparing for next year's PCA because it keeps coming quicker and quicker. And we want to be more and more prepared. We got the TAA coming up in October. We have Lazona Palooza November 11th. You guys should look to attend one of these things. You know, it's a lot
That'd
of
be
fun.
awesome.
It's a lot of fun for the people that attend, not for us.
No, not at all.
Yeah. But
He's right.
But-
Absolutely right.
you know the cool thing about Espinosa, and I worked with General for 3 years, and when to develop something with General, there's a lot of red tape and a lot of channels it needs to go through to get anything approved. You know, the turning a ship that big takes a while. With Espinosa and back in the Toraño days, and you get an idea, Eric likes it, Junior likes it, and we run with it, and we can turn product and turn innovation pretty damn quickly. So there's a lot of innovation. Hector's blends keep getting better and better, except for those 10-year-old ones, and we're doing. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, if you can't have fun in this industry, you know, in the famous words of the poet Eric Espinosa, you know, enjoy what you do and you'll never work a day in your life. I think Eric came up with that.
He was the original. Yeah, he was the original who said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
totally.
first
That's
time
right. That's on the heels of his 7 years ago. He did that one too. Ask not what your cigar can do for you, but what you can do for your cigar.
Yeah.
That's right.
These are all else for me. You know?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
a lot of
it's good stuff.
cool things happening. A lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun with Guy. We'll have some more Guy events coming up soon, and that's it, dude. It's never a dull moment. Never a dull moment.
That's all.
You
Just
see,
a minute,
you see
just so I
that
can
pool
upload.
back there?
Yeah.
I can hear it calling you from here.
Yeah. Calling me, that's for sure. All right, but
Yeah.
I want to say thank you again, guys. We appreciate you coming on. You know, we're not the we're not the professional podcast, but we like to have fun, and I think we've accomplished that today. So it's been a good time with you.
Anytime,
We
anytime,
appreciate
brother.
you, man.
Except Sunday at 3:00. Anytime.
Okay. Well, we got
Sunday
that.
at 4. Got it.
We understand. But on that note, we're going to say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right.
Gotta come up with a sign-off catchphrase.